traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1336th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar, and that, of course, would be me. Good evening, traders. This 1336th installment of these educational videos is being filmed on Sunday night for trading this Sunday through Monday. That's June 29th, 2015. I've got a lot of topics on the board, some interesting things going on here. Markets are very busy, so I'll try to get right into it. Before we speak about that, though, you must know that futures trading is extremely risky, causes substantial financial loss, is not suitable for most traders, let alone traders with just a little bit of money. It's not suitable for most of us because lately it's been insane. If you don't have risk capital to burn, do not play this game. But if you do, if you're one of those cowboys, bing, 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 you know who I'm talking about, right? If you're one of those guys, buckle in because it's going to get exciting. What I have for you this evening, and again, it's for trading June 29th, 30th, somewhere right around there, the end of the 28th. We've got another red Omni. That's two in a row. ES NASDAQ, slow, quiet. Applause for that. I don't like applause for red Omnis, but it is what it is. I can't change it. Number one on the board, the transportation average is absolutely starting to pull the rest of the market lower. In the video prior to this one, just 2 days ago, I showed you a big red bear flag in the transportation average, and I said this is ugly, and it projects all the way down here. Well, that started to happen a little bit on Friday as that flag got slightly violated. We'll see what that's going to mean on Monday, Tuesday. One of the things I will tell you, because now everybody is out there going, told you the top was in. I've been calling the top since 2006. Told you it was in. You got lunatics out there now going crazy that have been calling for this every month for, I don't know, count the months in 12 years or in 6 years, excuse me. Count the amount of months and see how many times these nuts call the top. But a little bit of a difference. We are having a little pullback, and pullbacks are an integral component to a healthy bull market. So, yes, they're going to go nuts and say, I told you so, and they'll be eating crow in a couple of weeks. Let's see. We'll take it one day at a time, but I am here to say this. If you look at the rest of the economy, real estate is booming. Personal credit to debt ratios are probably the lowest we've seen for individuals in this country in any time I can remember. Car companies are doing better than they've ever done before. Airlines are doing fantastic. Oil companies, for the better part, the ones that are in shale that can do it for under $60 a barrel, are doing really well. The economy is still doing well. So for the grand top to be in right here, economically, it doesn't make sense. The chart says we are coming down, and that's all that I really care about. But I don't think the big top is in yet. Let's see what we get. So I'm just here to tell you that pullbacks are an integral component to a healthy bull market. Don't get crazy thinking the top's in just yet. We'll follow it down if it's going to go. Beware of possible breakaway gaps. Not all gaps in the ES, NASDAQ, if you will, get filled in the same session. Now, I am a firm believer of this. No matter what anybody else says, I say we have a mindset. All gaps get filled in the ES. That's it. Now, we know that that's not true. There's no all anything in this business, right? There's no guarantee in trading futures. However, most of the times your gaps get filled in the ES within the same session. That is the case almost all the time, but there are occasions when the gap will not get filled right away, maybe 1, 2, or 3 sessions later before the fill, and that's when you have a true breakaway gap. Tonight, Sunday evening, the market's opened up almost 30 points lower in the S&P, leaving a huge gap. Now, on an average day, I'd say let's go in and buy it and see the gap filled, but on this occasion, I want to sidestep it. And I want to see if that's a breakaway gap. And you know, no need to be a cowboy. You don't have to run out and trade every single day. Let's sidestep it at least Sunday night and see if that gap gets filled or if it falls apart and it is a breakaway gap. So I'm here to say, if you are buying the gap, you know, I understand that's an average thing that we would do. In this occasion, I want to sidestep the buy. If you do it, put your stops in, okay? It's very dangerous. Now, leads me to one other thing I wanted to put on the board. It's a date. The beginning of this month, June 5th, I came out with a video, and in that video it was titled, "This new series of lower lows and lower highs is becoming troublesome for the markets." Now, since then, this month of June, I have done videos all month long. There are 3 bullish videos. All the rest have been pointing towards fragile market. Something seems wrong. I don't even know if Janet Yellen can pull us out of this one. Now, I'm not sure what the OMNI is seeing overall. I don't think it's a grand top by any means, but OMNI's been telling us since June 5th, most of my videos are starting to become slightly bearish. In one of my videos this month, I said something I haven't said in years. And I said one of my feet or one of my legs is slightly in the bear camp. And I don't remember saying that for years. So OMNI's seeing something. I'm seeing it with the OMNI. But I am not saying the top is in. I think a dip is coming. All right, we'll see. One day at a time. I know that was long-winded, but there's a lot going on here. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. So now, I want to get right into the charts because the markets are moving like crazy. With no further ado, let's go look at some charts. Okay, traders, the video prior to this one, I showed you this very same chart, and I said, wow, pretty big bear flag, the Dow Transportation Average, and it projects all the way down here somewhere, and I did this in that last video. Well, look, we cracked, and we're here. Now it's starting to go. The projection will likely take place, and it will likely take the other markets with it. Now, we did gap open lower Sunday evening, this evening in the S&P. So this is probably due to open up somewhere down here. We'll see. If it gets all the way down to the projection, we'll look at what to do next. Be ready, though. The trading's likely, if we continue on this path Sunday night, Monday, going to open gap lower too. But now there's this. Traders, chart masterpiece. You've been following this chart with me for months and months on end. You've seen it in so many videos, and every time the nuts come out and call the top, I show you this and say, don't worry about it. It's been saving us time and time again. Well, Sunday night, this evening, as I speak to you, the market is here, live, as it happens. We broke under the average on the opening and left a gap right here. Gapped. And it's down here. Now, I absolutely believe that gaps get filled, but sometimes it takes a few days. Let's see what's going to happen with this. Interesting, though, the only other time we opened up and broke through hard, we had a pretty big rundown, right? But overall, the chart's got 11 wins. This counted as the second loss, 1 and 2. That's a fantastic record. If we get back above this average in the next few days, we will follow it higher once again because right here is a bar that goes down to about here. Right here, you have a bar that goes down to about here. Over here, you have a bar that goes down to about here. So you do get through the average a little, but you head back up. If we head back up, we are right back in the buyer's camp. We'll see what happens. Then there's this. The exact same chart masterpiece on the NASDAQ. When you look at it on the NASDAQ, you'll recognize we did not get through the average. We only got to it. However, even on the severest, when the S&P got through, the NASDAQ didn't go nearly as far. So that tells you that the NASDAQ doesn't go as far when it breaks through that average, not as far as the S&P. So we're probably coming down here tomorrow easily. We'll see what happens. And then we've got this. Now it starts to get interesting. The dailies. This is live as it happens right before I started filming this video. OTAPMA, the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary moving average, violated severely. Look at the gap left from here to here. Severely violated, opened up under it, and last time we seen action like that, we had a slip. I'm not saying this is going to happen for sure, because look, you do get under the average, right? Doesn't go crazy unless you get really far under the average, like here. But there's the start of something. You never know. If you don't fill that gap, you'll pull one of these. We'll see what happens. One day at a time, right? One trade at a time. Then we've got this. Sticking with the dailies, you've got a flat top that's absolutely panning out now in your NASDAQ. This is the NASDAQ daily bar chart. Not only did the flat top start to crush this thing from one session ago and then right here, but look where it opened. It opened here, dropped, rallied back, and you're only at OTAPMA at this point. So if you leave that gap open, down, down we go. But we know most gaps get filled. Not all, not in the same day, but most gaps do get filled. Let's see what's going to happen here. We are absolutely selling rallies, or at least we would have if we can get any fills when the market starts whipping around. Then we've got the Russell 2000. Once again, is the target OTAPMA? If so, Russell can have a nice fat day down on Monday, right? That's all we are, day traders. We're looking for one day. And you've got the dollar index. Couple of things going on. Is that a target, once again, being that the market is heading down tonight, and there's all sorts of news that China, the market is breaking, and we know that that's true. And, you know, the Greek news always gets in people's hair. So we had a bull flag where we left off on Friday's close in the dollar index. Opens with a gap. Is here. Is this the next target? Very likely could be, because it does seem to tend to get around that average when things get a little bit, when days start to get huge. See, when the days get really big, it races towards that average, and basically you can tell that that's a flight to quality. So this may be the same thing, flight to quality up there. We'll see what happens. Traders, pull your own charts, do your own homework, admire how well that bull flag worked, and I'll see you all at livewithoscar.com. So, traders, you've seen the chart. You've got my technical argument for why we've got the red omni on the board now. You've seen the way these markets whip around. It's a red omni. It starts now Sunday night. Can it be considered a red omni all the way through Monday's close? Hey, who knows these days? But at least we're going to start off with the red omni and see where it goes. Those charts are pretty telling. That flag is enormous in the transportation average. But don't forget, keep this in mind. This is absolute 101. Everyone knows this. Pullbacks are an integral component to a healthy bull market. Don't go crazy, all right? Let's see what happens. And you gap followers, again, I just want to warn you, I do understand and I believe that you always buy the gap in S&P and NASDAQ. I personally, after all my experience, want to sidestep this one and see if that's a breakaway gap. We'll see where that goes. Traders, I hope you all join me at livewithoscar.com in my free chat room. It's a trading room where I run trades live 24 hours a day. What you see on the board here doesn't always last that long. There are days that we start off with a red omni, and by the end of the day, everyone's long. So we handle the trades as the market morphs throughout the day. Come join us at livewithoscar.com in the chat room. I'll show you how we do that. Always remember, and you're going to need to say this a lot tonight and tomorrow, keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things you can do to help yourselves with that is say this slogan to yourselves over and over and over again. Go run to the mirror, look in the mirror and go, stops are in, emotions are out. Just do what you need to do to stay calm tomorrow, but don't touch the keyboard, all right? If your stops are going to get hit, so be it. But remember, always say this, and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Rock and roll. Come to livewithoscar.com. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.